right?
Yes.
So I mean, they can easily catch fire also. So how come providing fire water system will be helpful for fire safety measures, or any other alternative measure is there? If
How come
even
in the
if you
sense
save the
water
product
is
also, it will, even if you
uh,
save the product also, the water, I mean, the product will be like of degraded quality, something like that, right?
it will not be necessary. For example, once you buy a shirt, so you use it, the immediate day you will wash it. What will be the condition of the second day? Is it looks new or it's get old?
Look wise,
There
it
is no much
may
difference, right? With the first wash or second wash or third wash, based on the
get.
quality of the fabric, it won't get degraded. The same way, whenever they process these materials, it will undergone through n number of stages, n number of washings, or n number of dyeing stations or printing processes. Even though it won't change any quality of the material, it will become wet. Immediately they can dry it, then they can again they'll process it. It won't be an issue with the water because water is the universal extinguishing media which is freely available everybody. There is no
Yes,
other
yes.
alternate method because there is no
Another
other
thing,
source which is available. For example, again there we I have to touch upon again the type of combustible material. So we have solids, liquids, gases, and all. When I treat this as a solid material, so definitely I have to use water to suppress it immediately.
okay.
Yeah.
And sir, is there any guideline or restriction to
Mhm.
stock only this much quantity or this much amount of material has to be stored in one particular place like that?
No such restrictions. Those restrictions we had only for the chemicals, where we have MAH installations. Only for the chemicals it is there, but the cotton and all, there is no such restriction.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
And sir, coming to this docking operations and all,
yeah.
one critical or very highly hazardous activity is this ship breaking activity. Is it covered in this topic also?
Ship breaking in the sense, I mean, where it is happening, I think somewhere in India also there is a big
Yes,
place.
yes. This
Yeah,
is Gujarat.
I was
This
near
Jamnagar,
the.
sir.
Is it
No, no,
Jamnagar?
no.
No,
Bhavnagar, sir.
I think it is the name also. It is very, I mean, a different name actually. It is an easy
Shipbreaking,
remembering
sir.
name only.
Shipbreaking most
No.
of in Bhavnagar, sir. I have seen that.
Bhavnagar.
Ah, Gujarat.
Yeah, it is in Gujarat for sure, but the name
Ah,
I'm not able to. Yeah, ship breaking in the sense of here also there are again common activities, Kumar. So when I say ship breaking, again you will consider the confined space and hot work and height work. These are the three major activities they will perform while breaking the ships. Even cleaning also one of the vessel cleaning also an activity that is also fall under confined space. So there is no specific precautions, especially for the breaking of the ship. So when I say breaking of the ship, we will consider the confined space while the people entering into the vessels for cutting or doing any repair activity or maintenance activity. Then hot work, while performing the hot work, we'll look after all the combustible materials nearby. We'll look after how the gases generated out of the confined, I mean, the hot work, how it will go out. Then we'll see the people condition, giving some proper work intervals, and we'll keep sufficient amount of fire extinguishing media, either in the part of fire extinguishers or sometimes we can keep direct fire hoses, where in the industries also they used to lay down the fire hose or they will take the swing road near to the work area.
Okay, sir. And
Yeah.
related to this docking operations and all,
Hmm.
just to compare when we are dealing with any some tank truck like that, one helper will be there along with the tank truck. So while docking and undocking, any guiding system, I think it
For
will be
the
available, right?
docking and undocking, there we will have riggers. I mean, there also level 1, level 2, level 3 riggers will be there. Rigger in the sense, in our case, we can compare like a flagman, where we use flagman for the truck movement, right, in the industries, or especially in the project work. I think in the security also will be act as a flagman in the fully running manufacturing industry. If it is in a project, we use flagman. He used to carry the one red flag and one green flag. He guide the truck operators. But in these cases, there we have riggers where they will guide the crane operators, because the crane operator will be in the certain level where he has to handle the cargoes or the containers from the bottom. So riggers will help actually.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I got a message. The screen not visible. Ramsai, I have not yet started sharing actually. I'm just answering the questions. I'll share now. And one thing I would like to highlight, so all these topics are not familiar. Maybe we will not get an opportunity to work, but keeping straightforward, these examinations, they won't ask you about in depth of the activities. It is basically a general overview. A person should know what kind of risks will be there on different types of industries, and what kind of safety precautions can be helpful to safeguard the people from those risks. That's all. Even once you enter the chemical industries, we'll see a number of chemicals. They'll have a number of parameters like LELs, ULs, and all. Even we can't remember for those many list of chemicals to remember LELs, UELs, even the TLVs, STL limits, and all. But they won't ask here. But you should know the theoretical knowledge. When I say chemical, what are the various points I should check to understand, to control in case of any emergency which is arrived out of those chemicals. It's only conceptual knowledge. Okay. So please confirm. I think hope you are able to see my screen now.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thanks. Again, I have mentioned many times. So safety, it is not an easy job. As I said, we are the middlemen, like government officers. So who will be in between the government and between the public. So in this case, we have to manage from the topmost person, a CEO, or who is the plant head. And also we are answerable for the lowest hierarchy in the organization. Even I don't want to mention as a labor, the lowest hierarchy in the organization, because labor also they have their dignity. So we are answerable. So I'm telling answerable in the sense, if they ask any question, so that is our responsibility to answer. So I have seen a few safety officers, they are very arrogant. They'll act very smart. They'll think that everything they knows. They will treat the lowest hierarchy very cheap, in the sense, देखो हमको सब मालूम है, आप तू क्या बोल रहा है? Because sometimes what will happen, the people who are really working on the ground, they knows the basics, the fundamentals very strong. Maybe we have not worked on such industry. For example, I am moving from chemical to mechanical. A person who is working in the industry for last 5-6 years, he knows the pin to pin activity, or he knows very much about the machine. If those kind of people giving any suggestions, we have to accept. Otherwise, you will not grow in that industry. You will not get any help. Ultimately, like bread and butter, the lower hierarchy is our bread and butter in any industry. To grow or to excel your knowledge or to improve or to build any culture, The bottom line people are our bread and butter, because the top management, if you say something, they will has to accept. हम बताएंगे सर ये तो खतरा है. If you're not taking care of it, so this is the imposition you will get. So you may lose 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs. This is a projection, or this is an expected loss. There may be a. So we can show that. So once they seen the numbers, they'll get shiver. They will accept our request and they will give some financial support. But the bottom line people, they won't think about these things. They'll see your attitude. They see your approach towards them. They see your how you are committed on their needs. What is their basic needs? They may ask you for a better PPE. They may ask you to speak properly. They may ask you to have some concern over them. They may ask some other request. So the behavioral aspect of safety officer is very important. The presence of mind, how you are presenting you in front of the people, also very important. Sometimes we may need to act as a politician. So how politician will be, I'm not blaming any politician, I'm sorry. I'm just giving an example by seeing some of the pictures, movies. The politician will have a crucial mind behind his face, but he always show a smiley face in front of the people. It is not a crucial mind in the sense, some of the things it is not in our hand, especially in the organizations, if the management is not willing to spend any money on safety, until unless they have not seen any bad situation. So it is our area to convince those people with the practicality, and that to be again, we should not throw directly, अरे यार हम लोग management नहीं दे रहे हैं, मैं क्या करूं, मैं कुछ नहीं करेगा. So these kind of answers, it will give a negative thinking, negative perception on safety. So I strongly request everybody, try to have presence of mind and try to act transparent. So don't, think something else in the back and don't tell something else in front of the people. So that makes you, put you in trouble in futures. Okay. Sorry, I have deviated the topic, but this is what I learned in my experience. Maybe you would also have such kind of experiences. Just be cautious while answering people. Because immediately they will tell, हाँ सर उस दिन तो हमारे सेफ्टी ऑफिसर ने बताया था वो वैसा है ये ऐसा है अभी आके आप ऐसा बता रहा है. So they are also very smart. Maybe they have not have such education or qualification background, but they are good at their things. Okay, back to the topic. So as we mentioned, security and safety. So for security, it is about the physical risks, and safety will be for the handling of emergency situations. So we have seen different types of emergencies. Sometimes even if the vessels they have not cleaned well, in case of any ship demolition happens, there may be a chance of fire and explosion chances, even if they are handling any containers, chemical containers, as we see in chlorine, it's got exploded. And it spreads over based on the vapor density or evaporation rate. So all these things will be potential emergencies. Same way we do in industries. We'll create an emergency plan based on the potential emergency situations. Accordingly, we'll do the mock drills. The same way here also the rehearsals will happen. Even sometimes here we have bomb threatening will be there, mob attack will be there, even other terrorist attacks also will be there. So those kind of things also will happen. And administrative documentation, it is an as usual. So the management of documentation activities, it will happen as usual with the dock operations as well as people movement. Then environmental management, implementing environmental practices like environmental management, like environmental practices, regulations to minimize and impact the port operations on the surrounding ecosystem. Trade and business services, again, it is supporting of trade related activities such as custom clearances, freight forwarding, and also other business services. Freight forwarding in the sense just taking your goods and It is an exporting, like in a DTDC, how the things happen, the same kind of services. Yes, dark activities involve a range of potential hazards. Maybe it is from a minor to a critical. Due to the complex and also dynamic nature of naval transportation, cargo handling, port operations, it is crucial to identify and address all these hazards to ensure safety of workers, passengers, and environment. And we can't imagine a dock means, okay, there will be a special hazards. Nothing will be there. It is a kind of a cargo station or a lorry yard where we have docks in our areas where we do unloading and loading operations. But it is bit in higher in volume and also material storage. That's all. When I said different types of hazards, so again the slip, trips, and falls, because quite common, wet and slippery surfaces, uneven walkways because of vehicular movement. There will be definitely an uneven events, and equipment obstacles can lead to slip, trip, and also fall of workers and also passengers. If the passengers are traveling or they are about to get out of the ships. Then falling objects that we have seen. Cargo, which is nothing but material, sometimes equipments. Tools can fall from height during loading and unloading operations, posing a risk to the workers below. So as we see in our last video, a person is just escaped, and also the immediate truck driver, he has taken reverse of the truck. So he could save the another potential accident. Then heavy equipment and vehicles. As we seen there, we use heavy equipment because the cargoes are, or the containers are heavy in part of weight. There we use heavy equipments, cranes, trucks, and other heavy equipments operating close to the proximity can lead to collisions, runovers, and also crushing incidents. Maybe taking reverse, a person is talking on a mobile phone. Maybe you would have seen in the YouTube also. I think 2 years back, if I'm not wrong, one of the industry, a forklift operator or another operator, he is talking on the phone. He has not seen him, and he just took the truck over the person. And also crane and lifting hazards. Improper use of cranes and lifting equipment can result to the dropped loads, swinging loads, or structural failures. So this is the classic example I have shown you in the video. Improper use of cranes or lifting equipment. What will happen? There is a dropped loads. The dropped loads, the impact will be very high. The dropped load we have seen chlorine container. And sometimes swimming. Swinging will be, especially happens with the, the long vertical, the long objects where they used to have the pipes. So there is a chance of swinging. I think I missed the video. I have previously one very good video where they apply only one single belt in the center of the pipe, exactly not center. Due to heavy winds, the pipe swings the sides. So it is also very potential high risk activity. And confined spaces, again, tanks, holds is nothing but again, it is in a space where we store the material. Enclosed spaces on the ships at the dock can pose hazards such as poor ventilation, toxic gases, and also entrapment. Entrapment is suddenly a metal which is coming and it is getting filled. Drowning and water hazards, and proximity to water poses a risk of drowning at the Munich border. Ship collisions and also vessel-related accidents. Ships get collision with one-on-one. Then electrical hazards. So electrical equipment, exposed wiring, and also power sources that can lead to electric shocks and fire. And chemical hazards. Hazardous materials being transported and stored at the docks can pose risk of chemical exposure and spills. Sometimes even coal. The coal dust also, it leads to an health hazard. The coal dust also can have an explosion risk. Even sometimes in the summers, even it can auto ignite because of fine dust and all. So that's why they used to apply the water over the coal. Even in the industries also they used to apply. And fire and explosion because of combustible materials, flammable liquids, also ignition source can lead to fire and explosions. Noise and vibration, again, it is a quite common hazard where you handle with heavy equipments, machineries, and vibration can lead to hearing loss and also other health issues. What are the health issues we will get with the vibration? Anybody remember? What are the two types of vibrations possibly to expose?
White finger disease, one more important in vibration.
Okay, very good. Thanks. So white fingers, what will happen? There are two types of vibrations. One is hand-arm vibration. Other one is whole body vibration. When I say whole body vibration, I'll give the basic example is truck drivers. For them, it is a whole body vibration. When I say hand-arm vibration, the people who uses the portable tools and also heavy breakers, etc., etc. Okay. Then weather conditions. This is also one of the major issue, especially in the time of tufan or especially in the rainy seasons. Adverse weather conditions such as storms and the heavy winds, icy conditions can impact the safe operation. Lifting and ergonomic hazards, again, it is in a manual operations because there are so many people involved because all the materials, it is not possible to handle with the equipments. Definitely, the manual intervention also will be there. Manual lifting, upward postures, repetitive tasks can lead to musculoskeletal injuries. Then security risk, uncontrolled access, unauthorized personal entry, potential threats to port security can cause security risk. A fall from heights, so working at elevated platforms, decks or any ships without proper fall protection measures can result in falls from heights. Struck by and caught in hazards. So workers may be struck by moving equipments or caught in between the objects during the loading, unloading, and also transportation activity. Sometimes what will happen, while loading the containers, they may try to go in between the containers and they try to help them for the containers. Or immediately they'll get in between, they'll try to avoid the hitting of the other containers. In those times, there may be a chance of these kind of incidents. Yes, Kumar, please.
Sir, in your previous slide
Let me
related
go.
to fall from height.
Yeah.
So in the previous video, one container cargo was falling while lifting operation, right? So in that, given that scenario, how would the crane operator or the person handling will ensure that grip of the lifted object is correct or is properly secured or not?
In such a case, otherwise, already one person is there in the bottom. Have you seen him? He is running away from there
Yeah.
during the video. He is the
Yes,
person
yes.
who he is the person who guides actually riggers while it is properly handled or not. Definitely, they'll have signaling actually. If you search in Google, rigger signaling techniques or positions, you can get those things. Definitely people will be there because while operating these containers, the crane operator will be in the very high level. I think they are in the very top. They can't see physically exactly, but they'll have a vision. But the riggers will help them for the proper handling.
So you want to
I
say
have
that it
one
is
more point here.
entirely dependent on the rigger signaling only?
Yes.
No any cross-check mechanism?
No,
I
definitely
have one more point to add here.
he will, yeah.
Actually, before lift the any equipment or any article, we have a standard procedure in SWL, safe load lifting load. So there is a mention in a container how much load is it have. So based on load, we have to calculate our boom angle, crane designing, and selection of the slings. The main first we start the what is the load. So based on the load, we have to select the crane. Accordingly, we have to select the slings for lifting. That is the main concept here. One more thing is the in crane itself there is a one load indicator. How much load it's have. One lifting the container, it's have a load indicator cell in the crane itself. It's give the clear indication how much load it is. So before that, we have a one documentation is there, the load container before the lift. The container weight is already mentioned in that container script. So based on the container script, we have to select the crane, how much capacity, what is the angle. So that angle falls in our safe control. So accordingly, we can lift that load. The riggers is only maintain the slings capacity as per the load lift. So D-shackles and slings, based on the load, they are select and they are rigging the container. That is the main concept here. That's
Yes, your concept is completely correct with respect to the activities which is happening in the industry. So when we say cargo, is it every cargo comes with a container script or the weight script? Is it every information will go to the crane operator? Which container is having how much weight? So basically what will happen, they will definitely have the higher capacities or the maximum capacities, the containers which will come. And also the segregation happens during the unloading time itself. So your concept is 100% true, especially with the industries where we use the cranes, especially EOT cranes or any, what do you call, the Hydra, Parana, even some more cranes are there. I'm not able to recall the name.
that
Definitely
means
they will.
lots of cranes is a boom
Lots of
mounted.
there. So there definitely
Yes,
they will see the
crawler mounted,
lifting,
crawler mounted.
lifting angle, load indicator. There's the information will go because when we come to the dockyard, there the number of containers they handle in hundreds and thousands in numbers. I don't think so. Such kind of practice will be there, but the capacity wise, I'm damn sure that they'll have a maximum capacity. Every time they won't see the weight of the container because if the container is their maximum load, definitely it will come with. But I don't think so. Crane operator will look after all these numbers for each lift. Definitely, there will be a practice for segregation based on the weight of the container, or they will use the size of the containers. Like we'll have 8 by 24 feet and 40 feet containers will be the standard sizes. Based on that, it will go to the specific dock area where it will have loading and unloading operations.
That's why that crane selection
Yeah.
also is that we are using only 70% of the crane capacity. So in that falls, there is no issue for that.
Yeah.
So what is the maximum allowable or prescribed load that can be handled by any crane or lift?
70% as per industry. 75.
Yes.
Some companies
70.
are they are
Even they do
85%
80, 85 also they'll go, but it is in a, I mean, in worst case, if they don't have any other option, definitely they'll go for it. Otherwise, maximum they do 80 up to 80, 80 they used to handle on day-to-day based activities.
That is based on companies' policies.
Yeah, there is
Some
company's policy. Yeah, it varies actually. Some companies they do up to maximum 90 also. That is not a written rule that you should not lift, but it is up to the. I mean, we used to call right safe speed. The vehicle will give up to 140, but we'll go on economy. It is up to somebody will go on economy, somebody will go on 100 speed kilometer per hour, somebody will go on 120 kilometers per hour. It is depends on the company's policies and safety practices.
Sir, just to know, out of curiosity, I'm asking, is there
Yeah.
any way to bypass this safe working load capacity? Is it available or is it not?
Available in the sense the
So
cranes
why?
are there.
Because
there is a two machines. I mean, in set fittings in the itself in crane. The one is load hosting switch, and second one is a load cell. The load is up to the boom level, then it is automatically cut off. In case that you hoist the load, there is a one limit switch is there. That beyond that limit switch, it's automatically cut off. There is no going to up. That is a
Correct.
one
That
mechanism.
is the,
Second
I
one
think,
is
height. Yeah.
the second mechanism is a load cell. This is already in the cabin of the crew. I mean, crane cabin. There is a limit switch is there that the crane limits exceed say 85%. It's not lift.
Yeah.
There is a automatically cut off. There is a
So
two
you mean
mechanism
to
to
say
control
that,
the limits.
so
It
just
will,
to correct my understanding, you mean to say that if that limit switch is bypassed means they can lift load more than the prescribed safe limit. Is it so?
Yes,
yes.
So
but
there is a
nowadays it's
chance
not
to
bypassed because
foul play. There is a chance to foul play.
yes, it's a beyond the 85 cross the load limit, then it's made to lead to accident
If your
because
structure is weak, in here also, I mean, there are multiple factors again. If the structure is weak, even the wire rope, which is there on the drum, if it is having any damages, then there is a chance. But when the control it is getting malfunctioning, definitely the machine or the drivers will try to lift the weight. It's again, as I mentioned, if any structure, faulty structures or any the internal damages, it leads to accidents.
that's why we are planned that there is a one plan and it's called lifting plan. The
Yeah.
lifting plan itself, they mention all the loads, what slings we have to use, what kind
So
of we got
again,
to use.
Ramakrishna, here is the and again a point. So when I say lifting plan, again it is specific to industry because,
Yes,
for example, we have EOT cranes in the engineering industries where we'll not have any lifting plans for the day-to-day activity. So when I say lifting plan, it is specific to the projects where we are doing, then only we'll have a lifting plan. For industries where we have regular lifting activity, for that there will not be any lifting plans. There will have only SOBs or any work instructions and the do's and don'ts. Just to add.
Also, sir,
So,
before start this activity, site-based condition, we can plan the lifting plan. Site-based
yeah,
condition.
yes. Site conditions also one factor we should consider. Yes, Ramakrishna, continue.
yes, that conditions we have to consider as a wind speed while lifting.
Yeah,
That is the
yes.
main, and the selection of the slings. In a dockyard
Selection
also
of
there is a that's why in dockyards also there is a maximum limit of the crane, approximately 100 ton. Then that lift is under 875 to 80 ton.
yeah.
So that's why there are this grace the amount of the weight is approximately 25 tons. So in that that's why they are using more than 100 capacity,
Yes.
100% of
Sir,
capacity. They are not lifted.
factor of safety is also considered, right? It's near about 125%.
Yeah.
No, in 125%
125%.
factor of safety, there is a one special conditions. We are not reached the boom that level. That boom angle is different. So that boom angle approximately 45 to 60 degrees. In between, there is a safe load. That's why